All right, well, at least we'll start with a couple announcements. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming today. All right, first things first, for announcements, you guys have noticed probably that bio screens are not happening right now. Everyone noticed that? Usually you'd be doing your bio screens by now. So basically what we're going to do this year is, that is in my face. We're going to do bio screens in October. I kind of, at the last week of October into November, I announced this at the last Lifestyle Academy, but not everybody was there or got that bit of it, okay? So it's just more of a logistical thing with staffing and schedule, and so there's no real reason. It's just we're going to do it then. So probably next month, start looking for appointments. We'll obviously let everybody know and put announcements up when they're going to be available. And then this year too, we're going to try to do it where I'm there at the screening so that you just get your results from the screener and just go immediately to me, and we'll just do the consult so you don't have to schedule both. We're going to try to do that. It kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety because sometimes there's two screeners and one of me, and then spouses don't have to be with me, but maybe they want to, and or if there are two places at one time. Like, I'm not going to be able to be at specialty and the clinic at both times. Also, I shouldn't say the clinic. We're going to be doing them down at Plant 1 at the other end, like where the exercise circuit is. We're going to be doing it in there this year. Okay, so watch for signs, but they will not be at the clinic. Please tell everybody you know so we don't have all this traffic in the clinic. So those are those announcements. If you or anybody you know is a tobacco user, we'll start a tobacco cessation class the last week of October as well. So watch for sign-up information on that. And then for the wellness program, some of you might be getting enough Sari bucks to redeem things. And if not, you'll probably be getting close to it in the next couple months. So basically what I want you to remember is that we're going to give you instructions on how to redeem those, okay? So I'm working with Gail and Deb, and we will have like a kind of an order form to turn things in. Even if you're not ordering an actual tangible thing like 2 days of PTO, it's still going to be something you fill out and then turn in your bucks, okay? So just wait for news on that so I don't get all these like, what do I do if I have all these Sari bucks there? What am I going to do? You know, I get all these, you know, you guys are on top of things and I shouldn't make fun, so it's like, but some people tend to hit the panic button a little bit, like they miss something, okay? So you're not missing bio screens, you're not missing consults, you're not missing end of wellness program year. We're still going to get you guys through the fall into the end of year, okay? So we got you covered. We'll figure all that out. The last thing I want to talk about too is, hopefully you guys have picked up the wellness challenge for this month. It is to complete a 5K. Now, it is not to run a 5K. Don't say, oh, Sarah told me I have to run a whole 5K. I'm not saying run a whole 5K. I don't run a whole 5K. I don't run unless I'm being chased or only have like a quarter mile to run, okay? So it's not necessary. But if you are a walker and you walk about a mile or two, or you've thought you've never can complete a 5K, this challenge is for you to try to attempt that distance. I just want you to complete the distance by the end of the month. The training is a walk, run, okay? So when it says run, if you're not a runner, you would just walk faster, okay? And then walk slower on the walk segments. It's an interval training to try to increase your speed overall. Also built into it is stretching and yoga and strength training, because that's all a part of it. So that is the only one. You have to complete it to get the 15 Sari bucks. The other part of that is that we would like to offer, and I'm going to pass around a interest survey. Just all you have to do is initial and put your employee ID on it, that you would be interested in participating in an on-site 5K in early October, okay? Talk to HR and to those that make decisions, and they have okayed us to do like on an afternoon from like 1 to 3-ish time frame, doing an on-site 5K using the outdoor area, okay? Which might mean doing the path 3 times, or if people can't go on the uneven, doing the pavement a couple times. But if you're interested in participating in something like that during your workday, I understand second shift, you'd be coming in before your shift. And no, we didn't want to do it from 2 to 4 so that people could just leave at 4, because
Dad pointed out it's not a good idea with all that traffic coming in and out to be doing a 5K. That sounds more like Hunger Games to me. So we don't want to peg people. I mean, maybe you do want to peg people up. I don't know. But if you thought, I might do something like that, sign up. And yes, the first hour messed up the numbering. I don't know what happened here. But just initial and put your employee ID if you know it, to let us know that you're interested in doing something like that as a group, okay? Because we haven't really done any large-scale Sarah-graph activity like that, right? Besides picnics and golf outings. Is that pretty accurate? Okay. I wouldn't call my fitness class a large group activity. It's pretty small. All right. Thank you. We will get started on sleep. And no, I say it for the 10th time, you're not sleeping today in class. We'll discuss why that's not helpful when you're still drinking coffee. That's going to be one of the things.
I have no problem sleeping, so I have about 9 hours a night.
That is amazing. I don't even know what you're doing here. All right. So for sleep and your health. Yeah, I get the irony of this. This isn't the most riveting topic, okay? I get it. But we spend a lot of time talking about lifestyle choices around here, and a lot of it is to do with, eating, exercise, and those kind of things, diseases, conditions, and things like that. And we don't, I should be on this side for the camera, and we don't talk about sleep very much, but it's ridiculously important. And we're going to go through why. So we're going to talk about the importance of it. We're going to talk about different conditions and problems that people have with sleep, and then how to get the best sleep you can. So basically, a couple things just to know is that most Americans really don't sleep. We're not getting as much sleep as we did 20 to 30 years ago. So I think it's pretty easy to understand that our generation is a little bit different than those before us. We tend to burn the midnight oil a little bit later and don't focus on things like resting and sleep. 30% of Americans get under 6 hours of sleep a night. That is very bad, okay? 6 hours is kind of your minimum number of sleep in a row. I understand sometimes you wake up or you have to use a bathroom or something, but if you can try for that consistent 6 hours, that's probably your minimum base, and a huge chunk of Americans do not get that. So, for sleep health, like we said, 1 in 5 adults suffer from daytime sleepiness. 36% of Americans drive drowsy. That is very dangerous. It's like drunk driving. Okay, a lot of accidents are caused from being sleepy. 29% of Americans fall asleep or become very sleepy at work or in my classes. 14% report having to miss events and different events in their lives. Okay, family things on the weekends, on the evenings, because they're just too tired and I just want to go home. I'm so tired. 50 to 70 million American adults suffer from chronic different disorders and diseases that we're going to talk about. So that is a gigantic population of people that don't sleep well. It's really a lot. So why is it important? These are very general statements about sleep. It is essential for our health. There is not a system in your body that is not affected by sleep. Okay, think of all of our systems, our endocrine system, our circulatory system, our musculoskeletal systems, all of our vital organs, we need sleep. So sleep is not just like, oh, it's nice to sleep. I feel so much better if I sleep. That's true, but really what it is that your body needs to do those things. Just like when we talk about nutrition, every time you put something in your mouth, different things happen in your body. Every time we exercise, different systems are working in your body. Sleep is the same. It gets put in that bucket of importance, okay? 7 to 9 hours per night would be great. I wish we could all sleep like Tom. That would be awesome. Does anybody here have like a Fitbit or a tracker that keeps track of your sleep? Jake, how does yours, do you notice your sleep change or?
Mine's all over the place.
It's all over the place? Yeah.
I don't have a regular pattern.
Yeah. It's interesting too to see that. Yeah. Before I broke my Fitbit band, I used to wear mine every night and watch my sleep, and it tells you your REM, your light sleep, your deep sleep, when you wake up, just little times that you're awake and then like bigger times that you're awake, and it's pretty accurate. It's really crazy how it does that, but I noticed how different my sleep is during different times in my life, or like times during the week and when I'm more have anxiety or stress or whatever it is. So if you have that, it's a really great function if you really want to look at your sleep and have some measurables. So consequences of lack of sleep, like we talked about accidents and different things like that, not only in your car but at work, increases your risk of chronic diseases. If you think about it, metabolism is affected. So if you don't get enough sleep, you could have your metabolism slow down, which would not help you lose weight. So then now you weigh more. So then if you're going to weigh more, then you're going to have metabolic diseases associated with being overweight, like diabetes and heart disease. So it really doesn't help, and it also doesn't help with our immune system either. It's very your immune system is very sensitive with sleep, and it needs it. So if we don't have a good immune system, we won't have a great way to fight off diseases and conditions. Links to depression. I think that's pretty understandable. When we don't get good sleep, our mood isn't good, and we're not producing that serotonin, all those hormones we need. Ages your skin. What's the worst thing in the world? Oh God, do you look tired? It's like the worst. Oh man, I just look old. That's what you're telling me. Right? Yeah, it stinks. Getting the bags under your eyes. You know when people look tired. Okay? Leads to forgetfulness, can lead to weight gain. We just talked about that. Impairs judgment, impairs cognitive function. Sleepy brain. We're tired. I can't work very well. I can't think straight. Not really with it. I was really tired on Monday. I pretty much sucked on Monday. I just did. I wasn't in it. Okay, I was just really tired. I slept enough, but I had a really a hard weekend, so it was just tired. Okay, so and I was just an idiot. I just couldn't think straight. It affects us. It's very important to have that. So some common sleep disorders we're going to talk about are sleep apnea, insomnia, snoring, and restless leg syndrome. So sleep apnea. Breathing is interrupted during sleep. You start and stop breathing whether or not you know it. Okay? Does anyone in here have sleep apnea or know someone who does? Okay? My dad had sleep apnea, and it was totally crazy when we found out when he did a sleep study about how much he stopped breathing at night. It's terrifying. It's really scary. And it made a lot of sense why he had so many medical conditions that followed up with that, which we'll review. So it can happen 100 or more times during the night. So think about all that time that you're missing oxygen and breath. The brain and the body often lack the oxygen because of the sleep apnea. So think about your brain not getting enough oxygen and you don't have control over it. That should scare all of us. So there's two types. There's like the central sleep apnea, which is more due to something like neurological with your brainstem. And then there's the obstructive sleep apnea, which is more common, which is because of your airway closing. Okay? So this is an example. You can kind of see this on your handouts where the normal air comes through here, and this is like the back of the nasal cavity and your mouth, and so the air comes in through your nose and it passes through all of this, right? Because this is not obstructed. When we have a lot of weight sitting on our necks and under our chin, it's going to press on that and close that tissue off, so now air is not coming in here. And it just stops. It cannot get to the rest of your body. That is a problem. So no wonder why we snore and you can kind of hear people, trying to get air. Okay, it's very scary. So that is what is happening during those times. So it's a vicious cycle. You have your onset of snoring, then your airway collapses, then breathing stops, and then your sleep is disrupted, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So you never really get that really restful sleep. Risk factors are being male, being overweight, over the age of 40, having a large neck size. Does anyone else know anyone who has their CDL or drives semi-trucks? Because they start doing a thing now where they measure their necks. Yeah. When I worked with the guys at things and you're smoking, so they're gaining too much weight, and then at night when they would sleep in their semis, they wouldn't get it. They would be having all this sleep apnea problems because they had so much weight on their neck. So then they were tired during the day when they're driving, and then the accidents were increasing. Okay, so they started making that a requirement that you're checked for that sleep apnea and that neck circumference because it's so dangerous to drive sleepy, and it's so dangerous to not get enough sleep. So that's become a real thing. So obviously, even if you're not a semi-driver, you probably want to not have a lot of weight around your neck and a family history of sleep apnea. So this is how serious it is. It's going to affect all these things. And sleep apnea, really sleep problems, okay? Because we need all of these things. We need sleep and restful sleep throughout the whole night. It increases your blood pressure, increased insulin resistance, even if you are not diabetic. Increased traffic and workplace accidents. Stroke is a factor. Memory problems and inability to think correctly, and cardiac problems. So this is a serious thing. Getting enough sleep is a serious thing, and sleep apnea is a serious thing. So if you feel like you or someone you know or love should talk to their doctor about it, please seek treatment for that. Here are some symptoms. Waking up with a sore or dry throat, okay, because you're trying to suck so much air when you don't even know it. Loud snoring, waking up gasping or choking. Morning headaches, restless sleep, and sleepiness while driving. Okay, so those are some of the symptoms. Treatment is losing weight, avoiding alcohol and sleeping pills, even though those are usually things that people would want to have to sleep. It's not helpful, okay? Changing sleep position at night, stop smoking, avoid sleeping on your back. A lot of times that's a reason why your airway can be blocked, so on your side or in a different position. And then continue, and then getting a CPAP machine is pretty key after a sleep study. So that's your CPAP machine. That's a really old picture. They don't look like that anymore. They're a little bit more streamlined than that.
You're going to be sleeping on your side too.
Yes. Yeah. Sleeping on your side. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a CPAP. My dad had one of those, and we always just call him Darth Vader. Like, you go wake him up. It's scary. I don't like it. He's got that thing on his face. All right. Any questions about sleep apnea at all? Okay. So, insomnia. I think probably a lot of us just suffer from this from time to time. Is that pretty accurate? Because insomnia is kind of anything, right? It's I can't fall asleep right away, or I can fall asleep but then I wake up throughout the night, or I fall asleep and then I wake up really alert, like right in the morning, and I can't fall back asleep, or I get up and I am hungry, or I get up and I have to use the bathroom. Okay, we can all kind of relate at some point to a little bit of insomnia, right? Okay. So over half of Americans experience it. Trouble falling and staying asleep, waking up too early, all those things. So here's our causes, okay? Ding in if you think any of these might be you. Stress or anxiety, poor sleep habits, changes in your sleep habits, stimulants, tobacco and caffeine. Even though alcohol is not a stimulant, it does affect your sleep. I know that in our heads we probably think, man, do I sleep great when I'm wasted? Okay? But the thing is, you're actually not getting good sleep. Yeah, you're out, right? You think you're out, but it's not the same kind of sleep you'd be getting if you were sober. Okay, so don't try to validate that. Okay, and certain medicines. So if you take different medications or supplements or vitamins, make sure you always talk to your doctor or a medical professional about that to make sure that there isn't some sort of combination that could be affecting your sleep. Lack of exercise. I wonder if I've ever said that before in here, ever you guys, about exercising consistently. Okay? Problems breathing or pain. Pain would obviously keep us up, and different things with hormones. A lot of times for women with night sweats, that is a horrible way to try to sleep. Treatment. Sticking to a routine. Okay? This is for all sleeping problems. Who here sleeps different hours on the weekends than the weekdays? Okay? Yeah. I am not much of a night owl, so on the weekends I kind of am a drag to people, and they're like, oh, Sarah's going to bed at 10:30. Like, I can't hang. Like, I wish I could, but like 10:30 is midnight to me. 2 a.m. is just forget it, okay? So I've become a baby about going to bed early, but I still, I can stay up till 10:30 if I try. But how many times have I said to you guys in any of our classes that our bodies don't know the difference between Tuesday and Saturday, right? It doesn't know the difference. So whether you're in a normal workday routine or if you are on the weekends and you're doing whatever, your body and your brain has a rhythm and it needs to do the same things every single day, okay? So sticking to routine is really key. And it's probably the hardest thing out of all the suggestions for fixing sleep. It's probably the hardest because it does change so much, because the time it takes and how stubborn you have to be with being consistent with when you go to bed and when you get up takes so long for your body's rhythms to catch up to that. Do you know what I mean by that? Where like if you try to lose a little weight, you can do some pretty drastic things and get some pretty easy results quickly, but not with sleep. Like it just takes a while, right? Set time to go to bed and get up at least within a couple hours of the same time every day, okay? Learn to develop positive thoughts, which we're going to talk about some things in the next couple lifestyle academies about mindfulness, stress reduction, mental health, things like that to try to work on some of the anxiety or stress or depression that might keep us up at night. Creating a good sleep environment. Darkness counts. Here's the other thing, you guys. We are a technology society. Watching TV, looking at your phone, tablet, or laptop is going to keep you awake. That blue screen, yes it does, don't shake your head. That's a scientific fact. Okay? I'm not saying that you don't sleep well, but maybe your body would get more restless sleep in the first couple hours if you didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It does block your body's ability to produce melatonin, which is what helps us fall asleep. Okay? So maybe Tom, yours doesn't block all of the melatonin, so you do fall asleep, but maybe without it, you would even get more. Okay? You'd be sleeping like the dead. But for the rest of us who need to go to sleep, I really do notice a difference that when I stop watching TV and I either decide to read a book or journal from bed, just with like my lamp on next to my bed, I sleep way better. I fall asleep way easier. Sometimes I listen to music and that's on my phone, but like I immediately turn it over once I have something playing and that's it. Or to set my alarm. I don't stare at my phone and do things. So if you can try to not have that, oh, I watch TV till I go to bed, or oh, I do something on the computer till I go to bed, it might make a difference. It's a hard sell. I know a lot of people are like, no way. Not having a TV in your room, in your bedroom. It's hard, but you can do it, okay? It'll make a difference, I promise. Okay, it's too easy just to turn it on and have it on when you go to bed. It's too easy, and that blue light is disruptive to your sleep, whether you know it or not. Like I said, working on different stress management, relaxation techniques, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and then working through those medications. What you do during the day affects your sleep, okay? Restless leg syndrome. Has anyone heard of this or has it or know anyone? Okay, totally annoying, right? Yeah. It's the urge or need to move one's leg or to get rid of an unpleasant sensation. So it's kind of, what does it feel like? Kind of like you just have to keep moving and toss and turn. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I was part of a sleep study, and the 8 hours they monitored, my legs moved 852 times.
852 times in 8 hours?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what do they do? Would you strap yourself down at night? How do you? Okay. God. Yeah, so what do you do how did they suggest to help with that?
They didn't.
They didn't? They just studied you and said like, wow, that's really messed up. That's off, buddy. Like, that's
It
terrible.
wasn't we just went over some of the same things you just did there.
Really?
As far as some of the things to try there wasn't anything medically they could do different about it.
Wow. Okay.
There are some forms of it, there are different severities of it.
Sure.
Mine were the tremors.
Oh, okay.
Others are chicken and dog out of that kind of kicking.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those they can do muscle relaxers and different types of things for.
Got it.
That's what my wife has issues with.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
I was shocked.
That is shocking. I think we're all kind of
They showed
shocked.
me the graph or whatever, and
Yeah.
every time it happened, it's going on. It's averaged like 90 times an hour or something like that.
Wow. That's incredible.
I have to do squats and things before bed. They
Okay.
really fatigue my calves.
Yeah.
It's really fatiguing, and then I find I also have to keep my iron level high.
Okay.
Giving blood and stuff, they say iron is really
Oh, it's
important.
really low. Yeah. Yeah. So did everyone hear that? That Shelly has to do squats and like to fatigue her muscles at night, and then keeping iron high, especially donating blood, and that's it for women. That's a big thing too. Yeah. That's fascinating. Thanks, guys, for that. Yeah. So here's some of the symptoms. So I'm sure you guys you're familiar with some of that. They last for an hour or longer. It can occur in other parts, not just your legs as well. Do you guys have it in your arms at all? Well, what is your problem back there? You two should not be sitting next to one another, first of all.
Probably not.
Like, yeah, I'm like sitting looking at this and my teacher brain is saying, no, not these two.
Two chairs.
I know, right? I don't want them closer to me.
When
I mean, I want them at the back of the room. I just don't want them next to me. Or next to each other. Yeah. All right, so warm baths, gentle stretching, massage medication. Has stretching helped at all either, just to help it, or not? Or is it just fatiguing them for you?
For me, I mean, maybe stretching is kind of the same thing, but
Yeah.
as long as I get them really
Move them around,
Yeah.
so blood
fatigue
flow
them,
and
then
stuff.
they're tired enough to just let me
Chill.
fall asleep.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting though. Yeah. So these are some of the things, and these are just great ideas just to get ready for bed anyway. A couple things that I've done too, when I know that I'm just not going to have a good night of sleep, I will do bedtime yoga, which is like you can actually like do it from your bed, which is really nice because then when it's done, you just kind of roll over and go to sleep. Yeah, you don't have to like. It's not. Yeah, exactly. Like when you're in Shavasana, you get to stay there. Like there's no like, all right, great, thanks for coming. Like you're like light off. Yeah. So bedtime yoga, it's on, of course, YouTube, which is kind of counterproductive that you're not really watching the video as much as you're listening to the cues. So if that's something you want to try, you can set yourself up for that. There's some really great videos available for that. If you want some links, I can send you links. And I will say, it feels a lot better getting out of bed the next morning when you stretch before you go to bed. Okay, so it will feel better. Warm baths, adding Epsom salts or lavender essential oils or different things like that to bath water, or putting lavender essential oil on the bottom of your feet or on your pillows also helps for sleep in general, not just restless legs, but sleep in general. It is helpful to relax you. And of course, if you are seeking medical treatment, there's medications that might be helpful. So here's some surprising sleep disturbances. Who sleeps with a pet in their bed? I tried. How long did I? 6 months, I think. I think I made it 6 months, and then I fell for it, and I let Charlotte sleep in the bed. And now I can't help it. She's like a body pillow. But it's really disruptive. Okay, I definitely know I sleep better when she's not there. Kids getting into bed, that's disruptive. Okay, so animals and kids, keep them out. Cats, I find when I used to have cats, like way back in the day, those are super disruptive because they will just walk all over you, literally. Okay. Alcohol, nightcap. Here's another thing I'm guilty of. This isn't actually great for your sleep. It does disturb your sleep because your body has to metabolize it, and that takes a lot of work. Okay? So it's not. It's like people, I ate a big meal, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. Your body has to metabolize all that food. Protein will keep you up as well. When your body has a big job to do because you put something in it, it's not helpful for sleep. You might feel sleepy because alcohol is a depressant, and you might be like, oh, that's nice. I know I fall asleep when I drink, but it's not good sleep once you get to sleep. Acid reflux and different digestive issues might keep people up. Medicines, vitamins, supplements, different things that might be bad combinations for you. Pain will keep you up. That is for sure. If something is hurting you, it will wake you up. And actually exhaustion. How many times have you guys gone through a day where you're so tired and all you want to do is go home and go to bed, and then you get there and you can't sleep? It's the worst, right? Okay? Sometimes we're just so exhausted. Those are the days when I'm so tired and like I don't want to teach fitness class or I don't want to do something, those I'm like, do it, go, and I'll do it so that I can sleep. Okay? So even when I'm the most tired, I try to get that activity in because I know my sleep will suffer later. Okay? So
Is that the same as being overtired?
yeah.
Or some expression?
Yeah, when you're like, oh, I'm just overtired, I can't sleep. Yeah, exactly. So, so here's the ideas that we need to do. We talked about the sleep schedule, keep the TV out of the bedroom, sleep environment, having it colder in your room if you can. Yes, right? Isn't it the best sleeping weather right now? It's so awesome with the window open when it's like 50 at night. It's perfect. Prepare your body for sleep. We discussed that. And exercise regularly. We discuss that every time I see all of you. Avoiding caffeine. If you can avoid caffeine past noon, that would be advisable. I know like a couple people who can drink caffeine all day long and it doesn't affect them. I don't know how. Go to sleep when you're really tired. Okay. This is a thing I heard on John Tesh Radio. I don't know why I'm embarrassed that I listen to this, but I love him. He's very interesting. So John Tesh was saying there was a study out that said if you are in bed and you can't fall asleep, to get up and do something tedious like balance your checkbook or go through bills or read something not so, like something like that that's like that kind of exhausts your brain and you will want to go to sleep. Don't turn on the TV. Don't go in another room and look at your phone and shoot through social media, but to do something boring, okay? Maybe turn on one of my YouTube videos and listen to me, okay? Or some like financial webinar. That could put you right to sleep. So exhaust your brain and then go to sleep, okay? When you start to yawn, don't be like, oh, I'm going to stay up for, the Tonight Show. No, go to sleep, okay? When you're tired, go to sleep. So be consistent and avoiding naps longer than 20 minutes, which is why we're not napping in here today. Any questions at all?
What about avoiding also sugar?
Yeah, avoiding that's true. That isn't in there.
Sodas and
Yes.
chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Anything, those refined carbs that is going to get your blood sugar up. Absolutely. I mean, they're nice because you have a crash, but your body still is trying to metabolize them. So absolutely. Yeah, which is hard because at night, what's great? A little bit of alcohol and a sweet treat, right? I know. It's too bad. Any other questions or anything else? All right. Well, thank you for coming. Come and see me if you did not sign in or if you did not get your Sari Bucks. Otherwise, you guys are all free to go. Thank you.